All right, happy Tuesday morning. What is happening? So, before I start, BetUS promo code Iceman. You guys already know. Best odds in the game. And I might do something different coming up. Might do a little Q&A if you guys have any questions, whether it's MMA related, jiu-jitsu related, or just life, anything about, current events, any questions really, you guys drop them in the comment section, or send a DM to Ice Files and or Iceman picks. But let's give you guys a shout out in the show, and answer some questions and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll be able to get to all of you guys, but hopefully me and Jay Bird will do a little Q&A for you guys, and that'll be good. But yeah, the UFC's back this weekend. I love this card. Gamrot, my boy, he's back taking on Fiziev. Whew, that's gonna be a banger, man. I love this. I love this main event. This is a great main event. And just touching off last week. So if you guys seen my bet for last week, I made that bet 2 weeks in advance. I took it at plus 105 odds. Jack Della Maddalena doing the damn thing. I told you guys this guy was going to outstrike him. A lot of people saying it was close and this, that. It was a close fight. It was good, but I thought Jack Della Maddalena dominated the striking department, and that's exactly where Kevin Holland wants to do. And I was actually surprised how good Kevin Holland did against JDM, because seeing actually comments, a lot of people don't know who Jack Della Maddalena is, and they're like, oh man, Kevin Holland's done. He looked bad. I was like, no, man, he looked really good, dude. The fact that he was in there striking with a guy like JDM, bro, JDM is for real, dude. His striking is really good, man. His hands, the way he goes to the body, it's super impressive. The people just don't know who he is. He doesn't have the biggest name, right? But man, that boy's for real. And I was telling you guys JDM all day, and I actually thought he was gonna go out there and crush Holland, but Holland's for real, man. He definitely earned my respect. That guy's got a hell of a chin, and he can take body shots well, man. Because the way Jack was digging to the body, those were some vicious liver shots he was eating. And the main event, Grasso taking on Shevchenko. I had it 2-2 going into the fifth. I think the commentators had it around the same, and then I had Grasso winning the fifth. If you gave the fight to Shevchenko, wouldn't even been too upset about it, but that, well, the round 5 was not a 10-8 round. They're going to need to fire that guy, because these judges is getting worse and worse. Like I said, should be no rounds in MMA. Should be one round. 125 minutes for the main event, or 115 minutes for all the other fights, because you got to limit what these judges can do, and it makes it more it makes it more realistic, right? No one's going to stop you in the middle of a fight to give you guys a break and let the guy up off you if he's on top of you or whatever it may be. So yeah, so this weekend we got Gamrot taking on Fiziev. Ooh, this is a banger, man. So Gamrot, I know everyone was upset with his performance against Dariush, but Dariush is no joke, man, especially in the ground game department. Dariush is a guy who won worlds, won the mundials as a jiu-jitsu practitioner, and he's got a really good ground game himself. And who knows, maybe Gamrot just had an off night, right? You've seen it with a lot of guys. Look at Izzy. Sometimes you just have an off night. Now he came back and fought Jalen Turner, who's like, crazy tall for that division, and won a split decision over Jalen Turner. But man, Gamrot, people underestimate Gamrot, man. Look what he did to Armin Sarukian, bro. Armin Sarukian is a savage, bro, and Gamrot dominated that fight. Now Fiziev, on the other hand, this guy is one of the best strikers in that division, other than probably Gaethje. Now everyone says Fiziev's got really good takedown defense. The problem is, the only person you really seen attack was Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos was really the only high-level grappler that was really trying to force the takedown on Fiziev, and Fiziev stuffed RDA. But man, RDA is not the same. This guy's like, what, 40 years old almost, and he just got out grappled by a striker in his last fight. And Vicente Luque, he did not look good, even in the grappling exchanges. So I think if Gamrot can keep it a grappling match, I think and he will. He goes to that low ankle pick a lot. He's got a lot of takedowns in his repertoire, and he's got a great jiu-jitsu game. You're talking about a guy who is competing at ADCC. Now, he never won ADCC. I think he may have won the trials, but not the worlds. But man, Gamrot's for real, and I'm gonna go with Gamrot on this one. I'm thinking he can grind out the decision, hopefully, or get the submission, because I think Gamrot might be able to get the takedown. If he can get the takedown, Fiziev's in big trouble. Now, if Fiziev keeps it on the feet, Gamrot's not a bad striker, but Fiziev is a much better striker than Gamrot. But hey, I said the same thing about Strickland and Izzy, right? All right, Bryce Thug Nasty Mitchell taking on 50K Dan Ige. I fucking love Dan Ige. This guy's a savage, man. Now, Bryce Mitchell, this guy came into the UFC on a roll, right? He had like 14, 15 wins in a row, looking great, just dominating everybody in the grappling department. Horrible striker, by the way, but his grappling was so good. He was literally crushing guys. I think he had the second twister in the UFC in 2019 over Matt Matt Sales or whatever. But then his last fight, he ran into Ilya Topuria, and Topuria is an absolute monster on the feet and on the ground. Horrible matchup. We bet Ilya Topuria. If you guys were watching us back then, we took Ilya Topuria all day. And on this one, I'm taking Dan Ige, and I'll tell you why. Dan Ige's got good wrestling, man. Dan Ige can wrestle his ass off. Now, I know he got out-grappled a bit by Evloev and Chan Sung Jung a couple years ago, but that was a different Korean Zombie, and Korean Zombie himself is a really good grappler. Movsar Evloev, great grappler. Now, all Dan Ige's got to do is stuff the takedown. This guy's NCAA Division III, I believe, wrestler. He's got a great grappling background, and if he can sprawl and brawl, which I think he might be able to do, now you're forced to strike with Dan Ige. And Bryce Mitchell, I don't think he's going to want to strike with Dan 50K, because 50K got some power, bro. And all he's got to do is sprawl and brawl, and I think he's going to be able to do that. Now, that being said, if Bryce Mitchell gets him down, 50K is in big trouble, because Bryce Mitchell got a good ground game. He's heavy on top, takes the back, looks for twisters and all sorts of fun stuff from there. But man, Dan Ige can wrestle, and if he's able to sprawl and brawl, now you're forced to strike. And he's got a great coach too, right? Eric Nixick, an Extreme Couture, just got a title with Strickland, so they're gonna keep that heat going. And I'll take 50K. He's a big underdog actually right now. Last time I checked, he was plus 150. On here, he's plus 160. All he's got to do is sprawl and brawl, man. I think he can get it. It says 15-2 here. Bryce Mitchell's record on ESPN. I think that may be incorrect. I thought he was 15-1. Maybe ESPN knows better than me. I'm not sure, but I thought he was 15-1. So Marina Rodriguez taking on Michelle Waterston. Michelle Waterston, time's up for her. I think Marina Rodriguez is going to smoke her. Probably decision. Brian Battle taking on AJ Fletcher. So Brian Pooh Bear Battle, probably one of the shittier nicknames in the UFC. So he was actually doing really good when he came into the UFC. He had a pretty good win streak, won on the Ultimate Fighter a couple times, fought Gilbert Urbina and Tresean Gore and Sato, did really good, and then he ran into Hanat Fakhretdinov. And Hanat Fakhretdinov is a crazy Russian boy, and he's on a huge win streak, and no shame losing to Hanat Fakhretdinov. Now, his last fight, Brian Battle came in there, won in like 15 seconds, just destroyed the guy in the first round. And now he's taking on the Ghost, AJ Fletcher. So AJ Fletcher, he's got 2 losses in his last 3 fights. He's coming off a win, but over, Themba Greenbow, not a big name, not a great skill set either. And I got to go with Brian Battle on this one. I think he's definitely more battle tested. All right, Ricardo Ramos taking on Charles Air Jourdain. Now this is interesting because Jourdain from Quebec, Canada, and Ricardo Ramos got a big KO win over Faraz Zahabi's little brother, Ayman Zahabi. And I think Jourdain's going to want to get that back for the Frenchman. Now, that being said, is he going to be able to do that? I don't know. This is a tight one. This is a literally flip 'em as well. The odds makers got it. Yeah, man. Ricardo Ramos, he lost to that Zubair Tukhugov, Khabib's cousin, and Lerone Murphy. But other than that, man, he's had a really good career. Obviously, he lost to Nurmagomedov back in the day, like 3-4 years ago. But that spinning back elbow he's got, that he hit Ayman Zahabi with, whew, it's for real, man. And even his last fight, um, he got another spinning back elbow, and he's really good with that position. Now, that being said, Charles Jourdain might not even be there for those spinning back elbows because he's got really good striking defense and all that stuff. Finished Lando Venata with the guillotine. That impressed me. But his last, 3 fights, he's got 2 losses. One to Nathaniel Wood, who's great, and Shane Burgos, who's not even in the UFC anymore, in PFL. And his last fight fought Ice Cream Crone Gracie. Now, I'm a huge fan of Crone Gracie in jiu-jitsu, but, MMA, he has 0 striking, and his guard is not very good for MMA either. So that was a easy win for Charles Jourdain. Now this one's going to be a lot tougher. I'm sort of leaning with Charles Jourdain, the Canadian, but man, this could go either way. Watch those spinning back elbows, but I'll lean towards Charles Jourdain on that one. All right, Dan, the determined Argueta, fighting out of Chicago. Now he lost to Damon Jackson, a unanimous decision in 2022, but he's coming off a great win over Nick Aguirre. And he also had no contest. It was a premature stoppage or something against Ronnie Lawrence, so they didn't count that. But taking on Miles Johns. Miles Johns coming off a win over Vince Morales. Yeah, this is a close one. I'll go with Dan Argueta on that one. Now this is interesting. I don't know why this is on the prelims. Tim the Dirty Bird Means Andre Fiallo. Every time Tim Means fights, win or lose, it's fireworks, man. I like the Dirty Bird, but unfortunately for the Dirty Bird, he's coming off 3 straight losses, and 2 of those by finish. And he's getting up there in age too, man. This guy's almost 40 years old. Yeah, 39. And now you're coming off 3 straight losses. If you get one more loss, that could be it for you, man. It might as well. You might want to hang it up, but who knows? Andre Fiallo himself, he's coming off 3 straight losses. Joaquin Buckley, Muslim Salikov, high level strikers. 3 finishes too. 3 straight losses. All 3 are finishes. Now that Jake Matthews one, that was not impressive at all. He got completely destroyed by Jake Matthews. To be honest, I'm leaning towards Andre Fiallo just because of the age. 29 years old. Tim Means 39. You got to go with Fiallo. I mean, both guys are coming off 3 straight losses, so take that out of the picture. Just looking at it, I got to lean with Fiallo. But I to be honest, I want Dirty Bird to win. I like Dirty Bird, but time's up for him, man. All right, Jacob Malkoun taking on Cody Brundage. Now, this is a very easy matchup for Jacob Malkoun. Jacob Malkoun's for real. He's only got 2 losses in MMA career, and those are 2 pretty good guys. Brendan Allen, top guy in that middleweight division. He's getting up there. He's really good. And Phil Hawes. This is when Phil Hawes was on, coming into the UFC on a lot of hype, and he just destroyed Malkoun, finished him in like 15 seconds or something. So this is a much easier fight for Jacob Malkoun. So I think he's going to run through Cody Brundage, and the odds makers have it as well. The last one I'm going to touch here is Muhammad Usman, Kamaru Usman's brother, taking on Jake Collier. Now, the difference between him and Marty Usman is like 70 pounds. This boy is big compared to Kamaru, and he's for real, man. He's coming off a win over Junior Tafa. If you guys know, those Tafa boys just fought. Those Tafa brothers can bang, man. They got some striking, and Muhammad Usman, grinded out the decision. Now he's taking on Jake Collier. Jake Collier's got 3 straight losses, 4 losses in his last 5 fights, and just not been looking good, man. I think Muhammad Usman should make that 4 straight losses in a row, and that might be the last fight you see for Jake Collier. I'm surprised it's such even odds, though. Muhammad Usman only minus 150. What do they know that I don't? Because Jake Collier has not been looking good, man. That's interesting. They might know something we don't. Maybe he's taking this fight on short notice. Now, Jake Collier is a better striker out of the two, but if it goes to the ground, I think Usman should wrestle him. Take top position, grind out the decision, or ground and pound or something. But I'll go with Usman. Now, those are your picks. If you guys need a place to bet, BetUS, promo code Iceman. Drop your Q&As in the comment section or DM me. We're going to try to get to those Q&As. And yeah, let's do it. Let's make that money. Oh, I forgot. So I'm placing 2 bets this week. I'm taking Gamrot and I'm taking Dan Ige. 2 underdogs. Very unusual for me. Usually I like to parlay some of the favorites, but this time I'm taking might actually make a parlay with both these as well. Maybe separate 2 single bets, maybe a parlay as well to hit big because they are underdogs. If you parlay them, that's big money. And I think these guys have a great chance. All right, that's your picks out.